What up? This is Rap Hits and Soul. Look, it looks like Memo600 was in a high-speed chase with the law, and he was live streaming, and it really looked like he was driving, but you can't tell for sure. I would guess he was driving though from that footage. Then the next footage comes out, and you can see how Memo600 is being questioned by the police, and it looks like they're letting him off the hook because the police did a search in the car, and they found 2 pipes in the V. So it looks like those pipes are gonna be put on the driver. And according to the police, Mimo was all of a sudden in the passenger seat. So the driver has to take the charges, they said. And the thing is though, they said they're gonna do a forensic look into those 2 pipes, and they're gonna do a DNA analysis, analysis, and they're gonna look into see if there's any DNA of Memo600 on any of those pipes or any fingerprints.
I do think that those guns were near you at some point, and I think they ended up in the driver's seat, and your boy was going to try and leave the car and let you take the charges from that.
So what made y'all charge him though?
Because the guns were in the driver's seat, and he was the driver. He was the guy driving the vehicle. So at first he said he wasn't even the driver. Then he said he didn't know nothing about the guns. And like I said, he continuously said the guns ain't his. Don't put them guns on me. Them guns are yours.
He didn't say they mine, like specifically. I know he ain't saying no shit.
He said them guns ain't mine, they his. Who else is the only guy in that car?
Oh man.
So there's take that for a grain of salt of what it is, but that's what it is.
Appreciate you, bro. I'm waiting on my ride to come right now.
Or if those guns come back and has a match to your DNA, and then the AG's office at some point figures out that you are a convicted felon, a arrest warrant will be cut for you. We'll be back here. Same exact thing, and you'll be catching the charges you were going to catch tonight. But because I cannot prove that in front of my face or on paper, I can't charge you. So it's the same goes for the guns for everybody. Like all y'all got y'all DNA taken.
So they're gonna do a thorough investigation and see if Mimo actually was in possession of those pipes. They said if he has any felony, then they're gonna issue an arrest warrant for Memo600. And then if you know what happens from there. If he gets that arrest warrant, well, he's gonna be put away probably for a few years, couple years at the least. And so it looks like his homie, though, that's going to take the charges. They're calling him the driver, even though in the earlier footage when they was actually live streaming the police chase, it looked like Mimo was driving. I'm not sure, though, but that's just what it looked like. So I don't know if he jumped into the passenger seat and he agreed to switch, seats or what. But either way, all of a sudden, Mimo was a passenger. And they're saying that's why Mimo got let off the hook, because the driver, they know they can pin it on the driver of the vehicle. So they said the driver's gonna have to take those charges, but the driver was trying to get out of those charges, and he was saying that those weren't his. He's saying those were not his, those pipes. So that's kind of dry snitching, That's to the point where the police was basically saying, well, if they're not his, well, Mimo's the only other one in the car, so they're gonna have to figure out what they find in the forensic of those 2 pipes and see if see who actually has the DNA and fingerprints on those pipes. And then so yeah, but for that dude to say that that's not his, I mean, Mimo better check who he's rolling with, because I mean, if I was to guess, I would say that there probably was both them pipes. Each one of them probably had a pipe, because they found 2, right? So one was probably Mimo's and one was probably the passenger. And for Mimo to be the passenger all of a sudden, does that mean they switch seats? And then is that dude gonna tell them that in the station? Like, yeah, Mimo was the one driving. He told me to jump in the seat. You know what I'm saying? Or, but he shouldn't agree with it if he didn't want to go along with it. But Mimo, if you're the breadwinner, you know what I'm saying? You're the one bringing in the bag. I don't know. You got to find better people to be around you. First of all, you should have paid security with them to where someone should have a concealed carry permit in the whip. You know what I'm saying, with you. Someone that can actually take the charge, and it won't be a charge though, because it's saying the driver was supposed to have a concealed license to have those pipes in the whip. So that's his first mistake. He's moving sloppy. You know what I'm saying? He needs to tighten up. Memo600 should know better, because first of all, he is not the most consistent rapper. He's real good when it comes to when it comes to his music. He's pretty good at that, but he really should be dropping more music, you would think. More videos, more music. But for some reason, saying it seems like it takes a long time for him to really come out with something, and then it's not really consistent when he does drop something. But everybody seems to think that he could have been next up after Vaughn. You know what I'm saying? Like for Chicago, he could have been one of the next rising stars out of Chicago, because Chicago's kind of, need of some more stars right now, because so far, ever since Durk's been gone, it's like who they got left. They got, who's popping that they got left is really Polo G, and I would say there's probably a few others. The names aren't really rolling off like that anymore. I can't really just, think of all the names that I should be able to think of, because Lil Durk was really the one holding it down. So, not to say that there's no one else out there, but I'm talking about names that are going to ring bells, you know what I'm saying? Someone with the potential to take it to the mainstream, like Durk did, where he was one of the, most mainstream rappers out there, but not mainstream in a sense where I'm talking like radio rapper. I'm talking about mainstream to where the general public was really, rocking with Durk. Durk was probably one of the top rappers in the music industry right at that moment when they got him. So Memo600, I think, had potential to get up, get his status up somewhere in that general area, possibly, and I think he kind of fumbled the bag with his work ethic. So we'll see, though. This is going to really set him back if he catches these charges, you know what I'm saying? So, and then since we brought up Durk, you saw the same thing happen with Durk, where he's rolling with his homies that is not willing to take the charge for him, because his homies should have been spoke up and said, Durk ain't had nothing to do with this. You know what I'm saying? His homies, Vonnie and all them other dudes, they should have all, whether it's true or not, you would think that he would have been rolling with people that would be willing to get him out the way, you know what I'm saying? Get Durk up out that jam, so that then Durk can continue making money and paying for y'all lawyers and stuff. That would have been the move, you know what I'm saying? They could have cooperated with saying, as far as saying Durk ain't had nothing to do with that, but nah, it looks like the people he's with is probably going to do the opposite and try to take him down. So why is he rolling with them in the first place? See, with Mimo, it's the same thing. He's rolling with someone who's not willing to take the charges. So that's Mimo's fault, though. Like I said, he was supposed to have someone in that car that could have took those charges and said, hey, you know what I'm saying, these pipes is mine and I got a concealed carry. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have nobody. So it's the way he's moving that got him jammed up, and he should be smarter than this. You know what I'm saying? Especially if, I don't know what made them go on a high-speed chase in the first place, probably because they knew what they had in the car. And then I guess they gave up and pulled over eventually or whatever. Somehow, you know what I'm saying, they pulled over eventually. And the police, I'm surprised they let him go. They probably could have took them both in. You know what I'm saying? Mimo was like, I'm waiting for my ride now because, I'm sure he wasn't supposed to have been driving. And like I said, I'm not sure if he was driving. He might have been driving in the first place. I'm not sure. But same thing with Butter. Butter took those pipes. And it's like, you know what I'm saying, everybody gets real quiet. And these are the breadwinners that are taking these charges. That means they moving wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because with Butter, he was in the car with one person that sounds like ran off. And then he said his girl was in the car. and she's not claiming those pipes now. So she could have claimed those pipes, or at least one of them. But now they put all the pipes on Butter. And, you know what I'm saying? So the people he was surrounding himself with is not willing to take the charges. And so you got to find, you got to have that in mind if you're a celebrity, especially a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Especially a street rapper at that. You got to have proper preparation when you're moving around these streets and just be ready for whatever. So Mimo, that's his own fault for, you know what I'm saying, he's moving wrong out here. You know what I'm saying? He needs to tighten up and understand how to move around. If he gets booked, he'll probably get bail over a pipe charge. Well, it's not 100% sure though, because if he does have a felony, they might be able to keep him. You know what I'm saying? But usually I would think that if you're fighting a pipe case, I think they would probably let him out on bail. And then he should probably go crazy on his music. And sometimes it takes something like this to wake artists up. You know what I'm saying? They might have to go through something like this for them to take it serious. I think he already knows what he got to do now. So I just think that's crazy that, you know what I'm saying, now they're going to be looking into those pipes to try to see for sure whose pipes was those. And if it turns out Memo600 had his fingerprints on any of those pipes or any bullet or anything, they're going to come back for him and put an arrest warrant out for him. So plus with that live stream footage, I mean, that could take them down too. You know what I'm saying? If they, I'm sure they're going to be finding that live stream footage where it looked like Mimo was driving at first. And it looks like his boy, he's about to tell on him. He said, those ain't his. That's telling. You know what I'm saying? Like the police said, if it ain't his, then who else is it? You know what I'm saying? Only two of y'all in the car, and if he's saying it's not his, then whose was it? So the driver, if he even was the driver, he's about to tell them everything. They took him down to the station. I'm sure he told them everything. If Mimo was driving at first, he probably told them that. They're probably gonna be like, well, why did you switch out to why did you switch seats? You know what I'm saying? Why did you switch seats? And you know what I'm saying? The dude probably gonna tell him everything. Like, yo, those were Mimo's pipes, and or I don't know. I'm not sure for sure he's gonna say something, but it don't look good the way his friend was in the car, just basically, you know what I'm saying, trying to get out of the arrest, and saying he ain't had nothing to do with it. So looks like Mimo dodged one on this one, and I know he's not gonna be resting easy though, because over the next week, I don't know how long it's gonna take them to do the investigation to see what they find, any type of prints or anything or DNA on those pipes, but I would guess within a month from today. So we're looking at, I guess by the end of March, Mimo should, if he makes it through the end of March with no arrest warrant, I think he'll be good. At this point, maybe he should probably consider moving. But the thing is, I don't know if this is going to be a federal charge or a state charge. You know what I'm saying? So if Mimo's fingerprints is on those pipes in any way, that's the thing. He you know what I'm saying? I'd probably take that time to get up out the way and move about that city, go to a different state or something. You know what I'm saying? Relocate. You know what I'm saying? I think that'd probably be a good move, and probably don't go back to that state no more. That'd be one way to avoid that. But that can only last for so long. So this is crazy for him to be in that situation. And this goes to show that you got to, you know what I'm saying, move smart out here. You know what I'm saying? Expect the unexpected. Prepare, you know what I'm saying, properly prepare for any situation like this. And he should know that. You know what I'm saying? He should know that. But I guess this would be a learning lesson. We'll see if he dodges this one or gets, you know, if he gets away with it or not. I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted. Make sure you subscribe and hit that like button. Let's get over 100 likes on this video. And then let me see. Also, follow Rap Hits on all social media. And let's see. Check the description box, the comment section for all types of links and all that. I'm out of here.